whole office residential buildings when a lot of companies are going to switch to work from home. You have whole staffs that facilitate the upkeep of that building. You know, whether it's the people doing the lead, it's gonna like there's gonna be massive change. It's gonna be a real rinse out. I keep telling people like you gotta kind of this is the time. If there was any time, this is the time to tighten up, son, because it's like this is like Noah's Ark type shit. Like they flooding the shit out, and it's like. Yo, not everybody gonna make it on the other side, son.
Times Square empty. Man, I've never seen that.
Yo, bro, because you know the cheat code for me is I do the Whole Foods delivery. I do the pickup at the Whole Foods on 40 on Bryant Park because no one's in. You know, all the rich people left, so there's nobody in the city. Dog, when I drive in the city, if you're a photographer or videographer, like literally right now is the best time to get any type of shots in the city.
You never go see these streets like this.
I'm 34 years old, dog. I've never, and even I was walking in Manhattan on 9/11 because I went to school in Manhattan, and the streets were super dead on 9/11, but it was eerie. But you would see people walking, but the type of dead this is, I've never seen a city this dead, and that's including. On 9/11, like straight up where there was no traffic going on 9/11, like the city is like it's out of control. So I don't really think people. Yo, bro, there's no way to even calculate the damage or the effects of this yet. Like you literally gotta wait 3 months and then kind of reevaluate what the fuck just happened the last 3 months to even try to put it.
In my mindset, we won't really get a clear picture till at least September because elections are coming in the next month. They'll figure something out by September, I think.
Yeah, no, I definitely think they're gonna. But then they're already talking about there may be a quote unquote second wave. First of all, they pressing a button whenever they want the wave to pop up.
I think it will be too. I mean, hey, you saw in China as soon as they let them, basically do what they want for a little bit. Everybody jumped on trains and buses.
Son, right back
trying to leave.
Like, son,
so of course there's gonna be a second wave because it's just not regulated enough. But yeah, I mean, from a financial standpoint. I don't know how long it's going to last. I think it's going to be like 18 months where we start to see the process.
18 months of what? Hold on, 18 months of what?
18 months of change financially. And by that, I mean, you've already seen it. JP Morgan and Chase, they already changed their standards for mortgages.
Yeah, I saw that. That right there, that was funny.
You're about to see a lot of changes over the next 18 months.
No, I would agree with 100%. I thought you meant in terms of like restrictive travel, quarantine type.
Everything's going to change a little bit. Just from a financial standpoint, you're about to see a lot of changes. They have to be.
So
you can't have this with a more. That's why I think it was such a sudden and huge drop in the market because it was such a shock. It just came out of nowhere. But I think they can't do the same old thing as before as far as changing the market and changing things as far as how people operate. Right now, this is about as vulnerable as people are, so they're going to implement, banks and big institutions going to implement whatever rules necessary to go forward, and this is just the start. I think you're going to see it over the next 18 months, in my opinion.
Yeah, honestly, I'm telling people right now, I'm waiting for housing prices to drop. I think like over the next year or two, housing prices got to drop dramatically when you got all these like over-leveraged Airbnb dudes that are going to have to, they're going to have to give a couple of them cribs. It's going to be a lot of... So right now, how would you rank safe haven assets? If you got cash, Bitcoin, gold, or a stock index fund or mutual fund, how you rank the four?
Let's see. Thinking long term.
Long term, 10-year time horizon.
Well, right now, I'm going with Bitcoin number one as a long term safe haven. Just as somebody who's seen it grow and where it's going. It's only a couple charts that matter. Stock to flow is one of them, and it looks like over the next year or two we're about to see some exponential growth. Bitcoin, then I would say from there, most likely real estate in the correct places. I would say people got a lot of real estate, but it just depends on what areas are actually functioning to growth. Long term. So I say real estate.
A couple areas gonna get washed out from Corona alone.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people about to get washed out, and it's about to be a lot of people scooping up super cheap real estate. So I would say the people that are waiting, such as myself, who are waiting for this price to get chopped in half or to get cut down, that'll probably be the second biggest one. And not just in the U.S. internationally. People don't understand. If we get affected, everybody's getting affected. There's gonna be some super cheap land in other countries where people want to go. So,
Well,
and also travel. So.
I had Hotep Jesus on yesterday, and he was talking about like niggas got to seriously consider buying land in Africa,
right.
And
that's,
like
that's exactly
building
what I was
up
about
out
to say
there.
next. I was like, I'm looking at Ghana already. Like that's one of my biggest things: getting Africa, get some land, and being able to invest and be able to go back and forth or stay here, whatever. It don't matter. But
Ghana is where they had the year to return, where they were trying to encourage more Black Americans. It was Ghana, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
I think that you get your
unfortunately,
citizenship.
the media is not going to put it out there, but yes, definitely.
And I think you get your citizenship within 5 years or something like that. Like you get full national citizenship. They'll fast track you. For Black Americans out there, you remember, if the man oppressing you too much, you can always run to Ghana. They got open arms for you.
Exactly. Make travel easier, make commerce easy, have business people come out there.
Nah,
I think people already started years ago, and being at the ground floor, like Hotep Jesus said, being at the ground floor in places like Africa
that's a fact. That's a fact. And then a lot of people don't realize, like, you don't got to be here to build wealth. You could build wealth wherever. Like, you just got to find a niche, a product, service, a fucking a customer base, and that's it. And just make your bread. What you
been doing it for years now, man. Like you said, find your niche, stick with it, bro.
That's it. I keep telling dudes. So now we got the Bitcoin halving coming up soon. I know that's gonna be a big date. How significant do you think this halving is gonna be coming up? The crazy, you know what the craziest part about it?
Huge.
Hold on,
I think it's gonna be huge because I don't believe in coincidences.
But here's the first of all, the bugged out thing is, I think all this shit is timed. Like, you know, I don't believe in coincidences at all. Like, I believe all this shit is timed.
It's coming when it's coming.
But before you even, I'm gonna let you, like, because I want you to expound on that, right? The craziest shit is, like, son, for the last 2 years, there were all these different ways where, like, crypto Bitcoins was mad popular. And it was like, I mean, in terms of, you know, social media, like when you heard people talking about it, we're a month away from the halving, and literally outside of crypto Twitter, like legit crypto Twitter, no one is talking about Bitcoin right now, which is the craziest thing to me right now, which is hilarious. But I'll let you expound on that. How big is this May going to be for Bitcoin and just for everything in general?
Oh, yeah. Well, without giving away price action or trying to convince people that it's going to go to the moon, one thing I will say is the economic policy of Bitcoin is already set in stone. So we've already seen what's going to happen. Supply is going to be basically cut in half. Miners will get half of the fee that they get every 10 minutes, but the demand is increasing. So what I always tell people is, what is the maximum pain scenario for a trader? Usually exchanges and big whales have control of the markets. It doesn't matter what market it is. Bitcoin's just another one. However, because Bitcoin isn't
it's a
controlled
stock
by
market
anybody,
too. Just to clarify for people,
this is other utility.
Just
but what I'm trying to explain to people is, what is maximum pain right now? Maximum pain right now is nobody has any money to buy Bitcoin. No regular people, which is what Bitcoin is built for. Wouldn't it be great if Bitcoin pumped right now for the whales, while regular people were scrambling to get their refund checks and scrambling to buy food? They don't really have money to spend anything else.
They got a stimulus check.
Right before the halving, on the lead up to the halving, because usually you buy the hype, you sell the news. May 25th is around the time of the halving, somewhere around there. I don't know the exact date, but it's about 30 days from now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if there was a lead up to it, buy the hype, a lot of people buying into it, a pump over the next 3 weeks, and then sell the news because everybody's waiting for the date of the halving, and then nobody really has any money to buy into it, so institutions and exchanges get enrich themselves. I've been in this market long enough to know, if you're savvy enough, you could just copy what they do and you can make money. I've been doing it for years, built bots, whatever. But for most people, they go off of news, and the problem with that is, by the time you get the news, the move is already made.
It's too late. It's priced in. It's already priced in.
But we basically update people with stuff we said last week on purpose, because we're like, look, if we already talked about it before, it's either happening or it's going to happen. So I think that is a very big possibility. I also think another scenario is that Bitcoin as a safe haven is being bought up by a lot of institutions. and that it wants to be controlled. So the price will remain stable straight through the halving and may not pump in price like people think it will. I just don't see it going away simply because it's too much institutional involvement and too much interest. But I think that first scenario is something I've seen before. 2017, holidays time, nobody had any money. All of a sudden, price went from 3K to 20K. Nobody really had time to get to the market. You had all these people buying at 18,000, and those people are now holders in 2017.
Nah, those people sold out and they said, I don't fuck with crypto.
3 years, they got to see a bear market. This is my third one, so they got to see what it's like. So that's what I'm saying. That's maximum pain for exchanges and trades, just from a realistic standpoint. But long term, I don't think anything is going to touch Bitcoin as a safe haven, simply because its priorities are based in self-sufficiency, autonomy, being able to send money securely to anybody, anywhere in the world. Those things won't go away. So, but for traders, that's what I think for the happening.
Nah, but here's the crazy thing. What if I throw this alternate scenario? So they give you the stimulus check, give you the Square app, the Cash app, where you could easily transfer it to Bitcoin. Cats cop it, anticipating the bump for the halving, and they pull the rug on mad niggas. I don't know. At this point, I don't really know what these niggas got planned. You know what I'm saying?
Either way, I just want to tell people right here, either way in trading, the majority doesn't win. So if the majority of people are about to get $1,200 or whatever, pushback with, they're not going to time buying Bitcoin. So whatever that means to you, what I just said, just think of it that way. Majority, 10%, only 10% of traders make profit long term, 90% fail. And for most people who are dollar cost averaging long term, good for them. They don't have to worry about what I'm talking about. If traders think about the happening next month, most people are going to fail miserably. And you just have to be ready for it, have good risk management, and I think the maximum pain scenario I stated in the first one is something that could happen, but I'm ready for whatever. So,
and also, unlike options, the Bitcoin doesn't expire, so you only really lose when you sell. So, worst case, you don't have to sell. The price drop, you could just actually hold it and just extend your time horizon.
Yeah, and I got some family members I need to bring over the options gang with you, bro.
Yo, send them through. You know, I'll send y'all a discount code. You know what I'm saying?
You getting that together too. Yeah, we need to give you your flowers while you're still around, bro.
Nah, I appreciate.
A lot of people try. You actually did it.
Nah, I appreciate that, bro. For real. Even with the trading thing, what's crazy? Because even like I started more fucking with options. I was fucking with trading from Forex before too, but it's like through crypto, it's the volatility in crypto trading that kind of linked me into options, which is kind of the funny thing. But I don't really trade cryptos anymore, and I kind of like, I still follow the crypto market. Like, I have general knowledge, but I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I'm not like altcoins and shit. Like, I used to be heavy. Like, I used to be on altcoins. Like, I used to know altcoins heavy. Now I can't even tell you. Like, I got a couple of altcoins that I knew from when I was on them heavy that I'm still long on, and I think gonna do good long term. But let's just assume I'm a dude that I just haven't. I was fucking with crypto, but I haven't been, in the market for like the last year or so. What altcoins do I need to take a look at? I know one of my man's been pushing Chainlink from back on Cryptology. That nigga, and he's still got mad Chainlink, and he was on Chainlink from a long time ago, so he eating heavy right now.
Oh yeah. I've seen a lot of hype with Link. I would say from a privacy standpoint, Monero, always keep the Monero, because you can send that privately without anybody knowing where it's coming from. From a institutional standpoint, Binance seems like it's going to be around for good. So Binance Coin, altcoin, pay 50% less fees. Good gainer over time. One that always pumps alongside Bitcoin, just using historical statistics. Litecoin, just kind of regarded as over the Bitcoin. Not as much. I mean, I really only fuck with Bitcoin, and I really only trade altcoins sparingly, especially now. I'm more of a dollar cost average person anyway, but as far as trading, Bitcoin on margin is all I really need. The rest of the altcoins, usually you buy it at as low a price as you can get, wait for the market to go away, these markets are so illiquid, you really can't do much intraday. But I build bots and things of that nature to trade them. But those are the altcoins I will be looking at: Litecoin, Binance, Monero, Bitcoin, and then I was working with Metronome for a little